Good morning. My name is Andrea Ferguson, and I'm here because I know there's a few things that we want to be happy, to be safe, to be okay. And if you're like me, you want a few more things, which are health, wealth, and freedom. So that's the purpose of this podcast. If you would please share this with your community so that we can all learn together why every winner is eventually a loser. And I promise you, it's not what you think it is. It's not all negativity, because believe me, I have people in my life who have told me that that can't possibly be true, but it is true. It is true for a few reasons. Excuse me. So, thank you for being here with me today. I am what I would consider myself to be an emotional operator. And just recently, I was actually awarded a a gift, a certificate in functional neurology. Yeah, so I'm going to show you a picture of my partner in business and in life. Who It's funny because I asked him, "What should I talk about?" I like to base what I talk about on what I'm studying, what I'm reading, my real life experience. There's just too much chat GPT in the world for people to spit random facts at you. But I have loved neurology, neuroscience, all of that for so long that to me it just made sense to continue expanding my knowledge in that. One moment, please. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so you can see. So here is a photo of Shankar. It's kind of small, isn't it? Shankar is my partner in business and in life. Ah. And it just went away. Let's see it again. Okay, so this is a certificate of completion presented to Shankar Ponsale. Yay! Once again. And so I bring this up for a couple of reasons. One, so you know who I refer to when I'm either talking about the Crypto Alliance or I am talking about, which I'll put right there, or when I'm talking about the very definition of kind of the safe grounding grounded individual who I think actually knows very well what it means to keep up consistency and how that correlates with success. And so there's a few things. So like I said, my name is Andrea Ferguson. Go to andreaferguson.com if you would like daily affirmations and mantras and regulation tips. There you'll be taken to a landing page where you can sign up and get inside of the Telegram, where I will give you all of those things as promised every day. Just let me know that you want that. If you want to DM me affirmation, that's okay too. And it's a lovely community where we go in and I will speak to you, go a little bit deeper on the things that I have been learning and understand very well. So, um, yeah, it is a hard truth, but it's true. Your brain doesn't want you to win. Neither does mine. And it's not because we're broken. It's just because our brains are designed for something entirely different, which is survival. And I used to think that I was building success. Um, but it turns out I was really just stacking pressure. And some of that could even be hiding behind performance until my nervous system said enough. So I today we're going to unpack why chasing wins alone can actually destabilize you. And so let me go a bit further. When you are we're such an output driven society that if you don't see the right around amount of numbers show up either in sales or in follows or in likes or in um, DMs or in clients, or you feel like you're failing. And it's because we're chasing the win. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand very well that we do need money to survive and to live. And all of those things are highly correlated to how big your email list is, or how obviously how many clients or how much business you win. So I'm not denying those facts, but I'm talking about what our brain does. This is just science. I don't understand why my body is attacking me right now. Please give me a moment. See what I mean? Your brain doesn't want you to win. No, but let's talk about how the brain works, okay? And why your brain fights growth. And it comes down to your brain being a prediction machine, which is the reason why I showed Shankar. He's a prediction machine. He figured it out a little bit earlier than I did, that your brain, like when you can seek safety, which is often found through repetition and consistency. That's why every successful entrepreneur will hammer in consistency, consistency, consistency. Yes, but why? Why consistency? What the hell does that have anything to do with the brain? It has everything to do with the brain. When you are consistent, when you show up again and again and again for yourself, you are teaching your brain and your body that you are okay, that you are safe. So your brain is a prediction machine. It's not hardwired to chase for goals, even though those goals help you to survive. It's scanning for danger. This is a fact. It is honestly not disputable. It is well studied. You will see everything from a new price point, more visibility, doing something new, starting a new job, starting a new hobby, a new task. And it's the reason why it's so funny. We used to believe that it would take, what is it, 21 days to build a habit? But we now know it's anywhere from 18 to 241 days to actually build a habit. So, all of these new things, all of that to say that your nervous system, if it feels like there's a risk, it's going to say, I don't know how this all ends. Let's stall. And so hopefully you can see how this is not about mindset. This is why people who think that, no, that's not true, your brain isn't against you, don't really understand the science behind it or the biology. And that's okay. It's just, like I said, it's about how your system is wired. And I'll go in and I'll show you a few things in a moment to back that up, because I'm not just talking out of my neck here. I really am telling you the truth. So I'm going to also tell you that David Hawkins is someone who I am studying and listening to, regardless of your thoughts maybe um, about behavioral kinesiology, which is something we don't necessarily have to go into. But I do like his idea of um, understanding that there is a win lose trap. And what that means is, I'm trying to bring up the video here. But what that means is, can I find this for you? Well, anyway, what he means is, like, every winner eventually becomes a loser. So winning is always, always, always a zero sum game. Someone has to lose for you to win. And in the crypto world, we know this almost too well, almost all too well, that in order for you, well, it depends on what kind of crypto necessarily you are talking about. But oh, I'm looking for
So
I found it now. But if you think about it, if we go and I'll just use a casino as an example because it's a very easy analogy to understand. You go into the casino or even the lottery. There is one huge prize, I'll use the lottery because it's like an insane amount of money. Sometimes they put like $5 million that you can win. Can you and I both win the $5 million equally, not on the same ticket? You have a ticket, I have a ticket, or scratch off or whatever, and it reads out the numbers. Is there a way for both of us to win? And I can flip that on its head. Is there a way for both of us to lose? And the answer is no, because winning is always a zero sum game. Someone has to lose for you to win. For me to win the 5 million or 3 million jackpot means you didn't lose, that you didn't win. So you lost, right? And your brain doesn't like that kind of volatility. It really doesn't, which is very important. Why, when you go into especially like financial fields, that you reframe the way that you are looking at your success and understanding that success is very different than winning. There can be both. And there's a time when you need to be competitive because it's like, Andrea, that's all great and fine. I'm not playing in the slots. I'm not doing scratch offs. Like I'm putting in the hard work and the effort because I need to literally win business. But again, think about it. If you win someone's business, someone else loses that business. If you are number one on Google search or on YouTube or even in an Olympic race in a marathon, someone else has to come in second, third, fourth, fifth, and unless we figure that out. But right now it's linear in that way. Your brain doesn't like the volatility. It doesn't mean it doesn't want you to succeed, but do you understand the pressure that you put the brain under when you are looking for wins? And that's why Dr. David Hawkins goes really deeply into this because he says it knows, your brain knows that if you keep playing long enough, randomness will catch up. And that's kind of true about life, the randomness of life. It's also the reason why we have to understand the importance of humility, because sometimes you can be high, sometimes you can be low, sometimes you can be winning, but sometimes you lose. That's just the randomness of life too. Like everything could be going right. You could be doing something completely not wrong, right? You think about the California fires, and Simon Sinek talks about this as well. Like living in the LA area, and you're looking at the radar on your phone, like where the fires are spreading and all of those kinds of things, right? And it gets really scary because the fire is closing in on your area, and then the wind sweeps it the other direction. And he said, I went, "Whew," because I knew my house was safe. On the other hand, I knew now someone else's house wasn't safe. So that's not a win-lose scenario, but it does kind of explain the randomness of life and how the randomness can catch up with you, where you had all of these actors and actresses and just people working really hard in Hollywood and LA, or maybe people that inherited fortunes. Sometimes we don't talk about the secret is that people are also getting into these high positions of wealth, not necessarily because they have worked so consistently and so hard, but because they fell into it uh, by some kind of airship. Regardless of how they got there, we saw how easy it was for the randomness of life to unfortunately catch up and destroy all of that, destroy the home, everything that was built. And, you know, in that case, there is another reframing, and that surely takes a very long time to train your brain to think this way. The winning was getting out alive. The succeeding was coming out with your life. You can get scratched or bruised, but not entirely damaged. So if you think you're chasing greatness, your brain keeps score. And when the pressure outweighs that pattern, it will shut you down for your own protection. So understand that this has a lot to do with identity as well. Literally, if your identity is wrapped up in the clothes you wear, the house you live in, the car you drive, the money in your bank account, Even, yes, a successful business, like, if any of those things change because you lose business or you get your watch stolen or you leave it behind in a hotel or your car breaks down or your house gets like, life happens to you, you will shut down because your brain is keeping score of all of those wins. Now, there's times when the wins help you to feel confident, but that's about, again, wiring confidence, ingraining it into your being, into your brain as a part of your identity. But it's still very, very important to understand every winner is eventually a loser. Even in life, like, we win the lottery to be born on earth. Guess what? We also lose the lottery to stay alive forever. Anyway, I'm going to show you this clip and then go on to talking about how we can rewire for success instead of the hype, how we can chase something that our brain actually rewards because our brain loves to have all of those neurotransmitters, the dopamine, the serotonin, and all of these, the oxytocin, these feel good hormones, the bonding, all of these things. It loves that, and it wants to get more and more and more and more. So I'll talk to you about how to rewire the success after we watch this clip from David Hawkins. Apparently, I can only do 10 seconds of it or YouTube is gonna shut me down. So I'm just try to find a way to go in, skip into it. Okay. I'm not gonna show the clip because I think it's rather long, but I can show you, let's see, how do I share my screen here? Let's see if
To
I can show you.
succeed than to win. In the end, what counts is succeeding. Winning doesn't mean anything. Every winner, sooner or later, is a loser. Every winner is polarized, eventually a loser, because he's playing the win-lose game. We know from quantum mechanics, you play win-lose often enough, sooner or later, the 26th decimal point is going to come up and kick you in the butt. So you listen to me now, will you?
Okay. I'll stop sharing now. Hopefully that doesn't get flagged. Hey, thank you for being here, Zanos. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Don't forget to sign up for some daily affirmations at andreaferguson.com. Good to have you in here. But yeah, so I will link that below. It's just basically all that I was saying. So here's what we miss. Your brain doesn't trust adrenaline. It trusts repetition. Your brain doesn't trust adrenaline. It trusts repetition. Why? You tell me. You tell me if it's sustainable to continue to chase after a mountain lion after the mountain lion left 40 minutes ago. So we know that our brain is wired fight, flight, freeze, shut down. We know that. We know the amygdala will kick in, take our thinking brain offline. So you get that rush of cortisol, adrenaline, and everything that you need to go running through the mountains when you never anticipated it. You were just going for a hike. You saw a mountain lion, you took off running. You tell me if it is sustainable to keep running at 20, whatever miles an hour, kilometers. It's not. Your body eventually gives out. It's not sustainable. You're meant to have these short bursts of things happening to you, even if you do look at an Olympic competition. Most of the time, these are very short competitions. They're not meant to be forever long. Your brain doesn't trust adrenaline, it trusts repetition. So success isn't about hype then. That means it's about familiarity. And if the brain is doing that because it prefers energy efficiency and predictability, that means if your strategy requires this constant emotional fuel, that also means you're set up to break. So now we have to shift from these peak stakes to going into systems that are very clean, and from high stakes to low resistance, from hype to habit, blah, 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 blah. What does that all mean? It means you show up for yourself. It means you say, I am safe. I am okay. I am loved. It means you understand the long term. You have to convince your brain in the long term, this is good for me. This is safe for me. You have to physiologically calm yourself down. You can do that with tapping. You can do that with long breaths. When I say long breaths, I mean inhaling, holding, exhaling as long as you can until there's no more breath in your lungs. You have to physiologically calm yourself. Even I'm calming myself right now because I can notice my pace is changing. I'm becoming more comfortable. You do these things because you want to make that a system, a habit. You want your brain to be more addicted to the continuity, the consistency, the safety over the chaos or the adrenaline or the cortisol, which eventually burns you out. And let me give you an example of that. Yesterday, I talked about Alex Honnold, the climber, and I'm going to show you a picture of him if you haven't already seen him. And I'll get back to let me see if I can show it here. So Alex Honnold, the climber that he went 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet. I still don't think we understand how tall that is, like how high that is. But he climbed so high, and um that was a result of 10 years of training. 10 years. 10 years. Are you understanding me? 10 years, that's 50 climbs. 50 times he did that. He has his little chalk bag there, and that's it. There's no rope. There's no rope. He has on really good sturdy shoes. I have some. I can attest to that. But that's it. The rest of that is skill and muscle memory, doing something again and again and again and again. And we looked at his brain scan, and you see that this is funny. This is a climber who's also thrill seeking or adventurous, or whatever you want to call it. And then there's his, where there's very few. Now it's saying absence of fear, but he does. He has literally gotten to this wall, this cliff, and said, "There's no way I'm going to do it." Like, you should watch the documentary. But the point is that he does have fear, but he trains himself. He rehearses again and again and again. People say he's fearless. He's not. He's rehearsed. He trained every move with ropes until his body knew it. He eliminated every unknown. So when he climbed without gear, it wasn't courage. It was calm. And that's because there was nothing left to be afraid of. And so this is what your business needs. This is what your brand deserves. This is even you when you see, I love this because I was speaking with Shankar about charts going up and down. And I will be very honest with you. There's so many times when I thought, oh my God, how is this man not going to burn out his amygdala? Because you're literally wired to behave a certain way when you see anything that threatens you. Well, you need fewer unknowns. So you need to understand the chart may go down before it goes up. It may stay there for a while. And then you have to know, like, you're rehearsing this long enough to trust it. And you repeat it under pressure. And you need to build it for that understanding, not for applause, not to necessarily, it's the process. The more stable your system is, the less brave you need to be, because you just understand, like, I'm going through the actions, the muscle memory here. I'm trained for this. I understand that it's going to go down before it goes up. I understand that I'm going to fall on my face a lot of times before I make it big. I understand that not every post is going to go viral. Not every time that I seek business am I going to get it. Not every conversation that I have is going to. It doesn't mean that you have to be negative. It just has to mean you are wiring yourself instead of saying, I didn't get 5,000 people added to my list this year. I suck. It's over, because you're measuring yourself in such a binary way, and win and lose by that number, by that metric, instead of saying, wow, look how far I have come. Like, you know, 10%, 15%, 20% conversion rate. It's not bad. Uh, this client is actually a really good client, finding the positive, looking at the things that work, understanding that that's where gratitude comes in. So then my question is, what if we really tapped into that? What if we changed the definition of success to where it was something sustainable for your nervous system? What if we stopped seeing win lose and we started seeing how we're growing in that? Is that a way to stabilize? You know? And just let me know if you agree with that. I am gonna check my other streams because I don't see. I think that we have some folks in here. Double check. Okay, cool. So then go to andreaferguson.com. Please sign up because I want to help you. I want to make sure that you win, and not just with numbers. Do you understand? The funny thing about it all is that once you let go of all of that pressure and that stress, you win more business. You win more. You're able to take, ironically, more risk, higher reward. And that's one of the reasons why we do need to continue to show up consistently. But sometimes you need to plant that in yourself first, where you have enough confidence, where you feel comfortable to do it again and again and again, right? And I did say that I was going to show you the fMRI because I want to prove it to you, because I know there's somebody out there that's like, Andrea, that's still like negative, or it's not true. No, 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 no. It's science. It's literal biology. And anybody who says otherwise just hasn't understood the biology, but I'm here to help you. This is an fMRI. So you can see, let's see. All right. So this is a contrast, an fMRI contrast, a brain scan of decision-making post-control versus decision-making post-stress. You see all of these clusters, okay? The one that was better, that shows up with peak activation, you guessed it. So you get more stressed when making decisions after stress. I'm sorry, you get more activity going on in your brain and not in the positive way. So how do you reduce that? You have to reduce your stress so that you can stay clear and grounded and make better decisions. This study also goes on to show that it can just be the thought of doing something new or something unfamiliar. So this is not mumbo jumbo. This is your brain hardwired to help you by accidentally sabotaging you because it wants you to stay safe. Here's another one. I said, I'm going to give you the receipts, and then we got to go. Okay. So while big New Year's resolutions and crash diets seem sexy, they're rarely sustainable. A study by Lally and colleagues suggests it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to form a daily habit, and simpler actions are more likely to stick. So instead of maybe creating this overwhelming goal that is not really it's overwhelming, right? It's like an avalanche. Maybe just make a goal to change one simple little thing. And I think Dr. Tara Swart gives the example. She's a very cool neuroscientist. Maybe just say you're going to drink more water. Like you'll drink, instead of all of these things all at once, I'm going to go to the gym for 6 hours a day and drink all of this water. And I'm going to go to bed at this time. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do that. Right. And you can sustain it for 10 days. And then after that, it's done because you haven't made a single habit easier to break down and digest for your brain. So make it a habit to look at mantras and affirmations every single day. Make it a goal to work here on the inside. Just show up. I'll show up for you. You show up in the Telegram, and I'll give you a daily affirmation and a mantra. Just listen to it or watch it and allow your brain to make your body safe so that you can accomplish bigger goals. I hope you have enjoyed this program. I know I went into a lot, but when I say every winner is eventually a loser, I don't mean it in the negative way. I mean it in, that's why we don't look at life as a game of win and loss. You're here, you're on this planet. The mere fact that you are here is a very precious thing. And it means that you have won at life because you're still breathing, because you have breath in your lungs, because you made it your goal to not quit on your toughest days. You still got through. So why not look at life that way? Why not change your entire paradigm of winning and losing to be about succeeding in a sustainable way where your brain is not fighting against you? I believe you can do it. I believe we can all do it. I believe that with the advent of AI and automation and all of us getting more time to really do what we love. I'm not doing these streams for anything other than I really enjoy neuroscience. I love the brain. I love what affirmations and mantras and regulation can do to us as human beings, transform our entire lives. And I want you to believe that that's possible for you too. And it is possible. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, wealth is emotional, so stay operational.